Welcome back to Stoic Manhood Guide. I'm about to say something that most men will probably fight me on. But it's a truth you need to hear. In a relationship, respect is infinitely more valuable than love. Let that sink in for a moment. Because a woman can tell you she loves you and still sleep with another man the next week. She can say you're her world and then tear you down in front of your friends with a single, cutting remark. Love can be a fleeting emotion, a temporary feeling. But when a woman truly respects you, everything changes. Her behavior fundamentally shifts in ways that can't be ignored and can't be faked. Respect is the bedrock. It's the solid foundation upon which desire, genuine loyalty, and unbreakable trust are built. Without it, everything else is just a house of cards, waiting for a slight breeze to collapse. Now, here's the uncomfortable truth that most guys in today's world refuse to accept. Women do not respect every man they are with. For many women, some men are just placeholders. They're temporary solutions until a man she actually admires comes along. Other men get treated like the backup plan, the safe, reliable option who gets tolerated, but never truly desired. He's the nice guy, but he's not the guy. But then there are the few, the men who command respect without even asking for it. The men that women naturally want to follow, want to build with, and are secretly terrified of losing. These aren't the men who guess about female psychology. They understand it on a core level, and they understand that respect isn't a gift she just hands over because you bought her dinner or told her she's beautiful. It's earned. It's forged in the fire of how you carry yourself, the boundaries you enforce, and the non-negotiable standards you set for your own life. This is why you'll see certain behaviors, powerful signals, that women reserve only for the men they hold in the highest regard. These aren't casual gestures. They are undeniable signals of trust, attraction, and devotion that simply cannot be manufactured. In this guide, we're going to cut through all the noise. We are going to break down the 6 specific things that women do for the man they truly, deeply respect. If you've ever looked at another couple and wondered why that man gets treated like a king, while you're struggling for the bare minimum of effort, the answer you're looking for is right here. And by the end of this video, you will have a crystal clear picture of whether the woman in your life sees you as a leader to be followed, or just another option to be replaced. Let's begin. All right, let's dive into the first and possibly most revealing sign. Number 1, respect kills nagging. Every man alive knows the feeling, that constant, dripping faucet of complaints, the endless reminders, the subtles and not so subtle criticisms that make you feel like you're a child under constant surveillance. Most men think nagging is just a part of a woman's personality. They think, oh, that's just how she is. That is a fundamental misunderstanding. Nagging is not about her personality. It's a direct measure of her respect for you. When a woman truly respects a man, she doesn't feel the need to manage his life. She trusts his competence. She trusts that when he says he will handle something, it gets handled. She trusts his leadership enough to feel at peace. Respect creates a natural state of peace in a relationship because she feels safe in your masculine frame. She doesn't have to worry about the details because she trusts the man in charge of them. On the other hand, when that respect is missing, nagging becomes her tool to compensate. She doesn't trust that you'll remember to take out the trash, so she reminds you 5 times. She doesn't believe you'll actually follow through on that promise you made, so she pushes and prods and criticizes. In her mind, she has been forced into the role of a parent managing an unreliable child, and nothing kills attraction faster than a woman feeling like she is your mother. Now, here is the critical mistake most men make. They try to stop the nagging by pleasing her more. They give in faster. They over-explain themselves. They apologize for things that don't require an apology. But all this does is make it worse. Every time you do that, you are confirming her suspicion that you are, in fact, the child she needs to manage. You are eroding what little respect she has left. The real solution isn't to silence her complaints. It's to make her complaints unnecessary. It's about earning her respect through your actions. When you set clear boundaries, when you keep your word without fail, when you carry yourself with a quiet discipline, she automatically eases up. She no longer feels the need to be your manager. Think about it. Imagine a man who always says he'll fix the leaky faucet, but weeks go by and it's still dripping. His woman will remind him, then complain. Then it turns into a constant source of frustration and nagging. Now, imagine a man who, when he notices the leak, either fixes it that day or says, "I'll handle that on Saturday morning." And then on Saturday morning, he does it without another word. The second man will never hear a single nag about that faucet. Why? Because his word is bond. His actions are consistent. That quiet reliability earns a mountain of respect, and with that respect comes her peace, and your own. This leads us directly to the second sign, something most modern men get completely wrong. Number 2, submission is earned. Now, hold on. Before you react to that word, submission, you need to understand what it actually means in the context of female psychology. Many men hear that word and think it means control. They think it means forcing a woman to obey, demanding she does whatever they say, whenever they say it. That is the mindset of a tyrant, not a leader, and it will only ever lead to rebellion and resentment. True, feminine submission is not something you take. It is something she gives to you, freely and willingly, when you have proven you are a man worthy of her trust. When a woman deeply respects a man, she wants to let go of the burden of control. She naturally lowers her guard around him. She allows him to lead, not because she is weak, but because she trusts his judgment more than her own in that moment. Respect creates a space where she feels safe enough to follow your lead into the unknown. Conversely, when a man lacks a backbone, when he is indecisive, when he constantly seeks her approval for every little thing, she will not, and cannot, feel secure enough to submit. Instead, her instincts will scream at her that someone has to be in charge, and if it isn't you, it has to be her. So she steps up, she takes control. She starts making all the decisions, and she will resent you for every second of it, because you forced her into a masculine role she never wanted. Submission isn't about dominance. It's about trust. A woman will happily support your goals, let you guide the direction of the relationship, and find joy in creating a peaceful home for you, but only when she is deeply convinced that you actually know where you are going. The mistake so many men make is trying to demand the outcome, her submission, without building the foundation, her respect. It doesn't work that way. So how do you earn it? By living with standards, not with excuses. By making decisions, even small ones, and standing by them. By being the calm, consistent, emotional rock in the chaos of life. Picture two men planning a date. The first one texts her, "Hey, What do you want to do tonight? I don't know. Whatever you feel like. The second one texts her, be ready at 7. I'm taking you somewhere I know you'll love. Which man do you think she is more excited to see? Which man is making her feel safe, cared for, and able to just relax and enjoy the experience? The second one, every single time, because his decisiveness is a signal of his competence. He is inspiring submission, not demanding it. He's leading. And that is what she craves. This consistency in your leadership is crucial, which brings us to our next point, the ultimate litmus test. Number 3, the consistency of public vs. private behavior. One of the most powerful, and often most painful, signs of a woman's true level of respect for you isn't what she says to your face when you're alone. It's how she acts when other people are watching. Some men live in a confusing reality. In private, their woman might be sweet, affectionate, and loving. But the moment they are in public, with friends, with family, even with strangers, a switch flips. She starts making little jokes at his expense. She cuts him off mid-sentence to correct him. She openly challenges his opinion on something, not to have a discussion, but to show that she knows better. If you are experiencing this, I want you to listen very carefully. That is not love. That is a massive, flashing, red siren signal of profound disrespect. When a woman truly respects you, her admiration is consistent. She doesn't treat you like a king in the bedroom, and then treat you like the court jester at a dinner party. Her respect for you isn't a performance that she can turn on and off depending on the audience. It's a genuine part of how she sees you. A woman who respects her man would rather bite her own tongue off than embarrass him in public. She sees the two of you as a single unit, as a team. Undermining you is undermining the team. It's undermining herself. She might disagree with you, of course, but a respectful woman knows there is a time and a place. She will wait until you are in private to discuss it, because her priority is protecting the integrity of the team. Humiliating you is simply not an option in her mind. On the flip side, when that respect is missing, the gap between her public and private behavior is obvious and painful. She might praise you when you're alone to get something she wants, but dismiss your ideas the moment a friend is around. That inconsistency eats away at a man's soul, because deep down he knows the truth. Her affection is conditional. Her respect isn't solid. So the key takeaway is this: watch how she acts when there is nothing to gain from being nice to you. If she treats you with the same admiration, the same consideration, in front of her parents, as she does when it's just the two of you, you're dealing with real, authentic respect. If not, it's time to stop making excuses and question what she really feels. We're about to go deeper into the more subtle, psychological signs, but I want to pause for a second. If these first 3 points are resonating with you, if you're tired of the vague, politically correct advice you hear everywhere else, and you want more of these unfiltered truths about male, female dynamics and self-mastery, then take a moment right now to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. And I want you to engage with this community. Let me know in the comments which of these first 3 signs you've experienced the most in your life. Is it the nagging, the constant fight for control, or that painful public-private disconnect? Reading through your experiences helps all of us understand we are not alone in facing these challenges. This is a community for men who are done with mediocrity, not just a channel. All right, let's get back to it, because this next sign is one that most men completely misunderstand and they fail it every single time. Number 4, the silent tests. Every woman, and I mean every woman, tests the man she is with. Whether she admits it, or whether she's even consciously aware of it, she does it. These aren't loud, obvious tests like a pop quiz. They are quiet, subtle, psychological checks. They are her instincts, probing your strength, checking the stability of your frame. It's her biology's way of protecting itself emotionally. Her subconscious is constantly asking, is this man strong enough to lead? Can I really trust him when things get hard? Will he stand his ground under pressure, or will he crumble? These tests come in small, everyday moments. She might question a decision you made, not because she really disagrees, but just to see how you respond. She might pull back her affection for a day or two, just to see if you become needy and desperate, or if you remain centered in your own life. She might even challenge a boundary you set, just to see if you really meant what you said. None of this is random. It's her feminine way of evaluating your masculine strength without having to say it out loud. Now, here is the absolute key. These silent tests are not about creating drama. They are about her deep, primal need for security. A woman wants to feel like she is, with a man who doesn't fall apart under a little pressure. A man who doesn't get overly emotional when she pushes a little. A man who knows who he is, regardless of her mood swings. That feeling of unshakable stability in you is what makes her feel safe enough to respect you and follow you. Most men fail these tests miserably because they take them personally. They get defensive. They get angry. They get emotional. They start chasing harder, demanding to know what's wrong, trying to fix a problem that doesn't actually exist. But when you understand the psychology behind it, you stop reacting emotionally, and you start responding like a grounded, centered man. You pass the test by remaining firm, calm, confident, and consistent. Let's use an example. She says something like, "Why do you always get to choose what movie we watch?" A man who panics and fails the test might say, "Oh, I'm sorry. I didn't know you felt that way. You pick. I just want you to be happy." He immediately gives up his frame and signals that her slight displeasure can completely derail him. A grounded man who passes the test might smile, look at her calmly and say, "Because I have great taste." And then he continues on. Or he might say, "I enjoy leading, and I know you love it when I do." But if you really have your heart set on something tonight, go ahead and choose. Do you see the difference? The second response shows confidence, calm leadership, and a complete lack of being rattled. He is communicating that her test has zero effect on his inner state. That is what earns her respect. That is how you pass. And passing these tests is directly linked to our fifth point. Number 5, the true signals of loyalty. Every man says he wants a loyal woman, but very few men know how to recognize what real loyalty actually looks like. Too many men confuse basic, temporary effort with genuine loyalty. Just because she spends time with you or posts a picture with you online does not mean she is truly loyal. That can be a performance. Real, deep loyalty is shown in the small, quiet ways a woman aligns herself with you, and it only happens after you have earned her ultimate respect. A truly loyal woman respects your time, your energy, and your presence. She doesn't keep you guessing about where she is or who she's with. She's not out there entertaining a stable of backup options while telling you that you're the only one. She proves with her actions, day in and day out, that you are her priority, not just her convenience. Now, Here is a hard truth that a lot of men need to wake up and face. If you find yourself constantly questioning her commitment, if you have that nagging feeling of insecurity in your gut about her loyalty, it's not just about her. It's about you. Women do not give their unconditional loyalty to men they do not fundamentally respect. If she feels you lack direction, discipline, or a backbone, she may keep you around for your resources, for your attention, or for comfort. But her loyalty will always be conditional. She will keep her options open, consciously or subconsciously. That's not loyalty. That's her settling until something better comes along. Men have to stop ignoring the signs. If she is truly loyal, you won't have to wonder. You will see it in her consistency, not in her excuses. You'll see it in the way she defends you to her friends or family when you're not around. You'll see it in the way she instantly shuts down other men who try to push boundaries with her. You'll see it in how she genuinely invests in your vision and your goals, instead of seeing them as a distraction from her own. But if she's constantly hiding her phone, if she's always talking about her amazing male friend, at work, if she acts single when you're not around, then brother, that is not loyalty. Stop lying to yourself. A man who respects himself does not tolerate conditional loyalty. He commands full loyalty by being a man worthy of it. This brings us to our final and most important point, the one that ties everything together. Number 6, respect is the engine of desire. A lot of men make the fatal mistake of separating respect from desire, as if they are two different things operating on two different channels. But here is the absolute, non-negotiable truth of female psychology. If a woman does not respect you, she will not genuinely desire you. She might tolerate you. She might even love you in her own comfortable, convenient way, but that raw primal, can't keep her hands off you attraction, the kind that makes her look at you like you are the only man on earth, is rooted completely and totally in respect. Think about it. Desire isn't just about your looks, or your money, or your status. Those things might catch her attention, but they do not keep her attention. They don't fuel long-term passion. What keeps it is who you are as a man. It's how you carry yourself. A man who lives with discipline, who sets and enforces boundaries, who doesn't bend and break just to please her. This man triggers attraction on a much deeper, biological level. She sees him as strong, dependable, and worthy of following. He is a challenge. He is a leader. That is what fuels both her respect and her desire. They are two sides of the same coin. On the other hand, when a man begs for attention, over-explains his every move, or makes a woman the absolute center of his universe, he slowly kills both. She might enjoy the validation at first. It might feel nice to be worshipped. But deep down, a switch is flipped. She loses respect for him. She sees him as weak, as having nothing else going on in his life. He becomes predictable. And when that respect dies, desire follows it right into the grave. A woman may not ever openly say to you, "I respect you, and that's why I desire you." But you will see it. You'll see it in the way she initiates intimacy. You'll see it in the way she looks at you with that spark of admiration in her eyes. You'll feel it in the way she values your time and your opinion. That kind of powerful desire doesn't come from pressure or from trying to be a pleaser. It comes from her genuine, authentic respect for who you are as a man with a purpose, a man with standards, a man who puts his mission first. Your drive is the ultimate aphrodisiac. So there you have it. The 6 undeniable signals that separate the men who are merely tolerated from the men who are truly admired. As we've gone through these points from nagging to loyalty to the very nature of desire, I hope you see the powerful thread connecting them all. None of these behaviors are random. They aren't just quirks of her personality. They are all direct responses, reflections of the man you are presenting to the world. At the end of the day, everything we've talked about boils down to one fundamental truth, that most men will spend their entire lives trying to avoid. A woman can love you without respecting you, but she cannot and will not truly desire you without respect. That's the harsh reality. And when you try to build a relationship without that foundation, it rots from the inside out. Love without respect eventually becomes pity. Attraction without respect becomes manipulation. And a commitment without respect is just convenience. It means you are a placeholder, keeping a spot warm until a man she can respect comes along. So, if you've been watching this guide, and you recognized a painful lack of these 6 signs in your own life, the immediate temptation is to get angry, to blame her, to blame women in general for being too demanding or too complicated. But the Stoic path, the path of true masculine power, requires you to do the opposite. It requires you to stop pointing the finger outward and to finally start looking in the mirror. You have to stop asking the weak question, why doesn't she respect me? And you must start asking the powerful question, have I become a man who is worthy of respect? Because here is the ultimate lesson, the one key I want you to take with you from our time today. Pause for effect. Her respect for you will never exceed your respect for yourself. When you respect yourself enough to set and enforce firm boundaries, when you respect yourself enough to have a mission and a purpose that is bigger than just pleasing her, when you respect yourself enough to be a man of your word, first and foremost to yourself, her respect will follow as a natural, inevitable consequence. You don't chase it. You don't demand it. You inspire it by the standard you live by. This is a conversation, not a lecture. I want to hear from you in the comments. What have you been through? Which of these signs was the biggest revelation for you? I'll be reading them, because we all grow stronger by sharing our journeys. And before you go, burn this into your mind. Respect is the one currency in a relationship you can't beg for, you can't buy, and you can't fake. The moment you lose it for yourself, you lose everything else with it. Until next time, stay strong.